Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. I'm Paul Jasson, your host. Thank you for joining us. We're downtown on a beautiful day in Lancaster, with the bandstand behind us, kind of thinking in the back of our minds, festival's coming. It's going to be here pretty soon, but it's summertime now, and there are so many wonderful events. I guess it's summertime everywhere but on the calendar as we do this, because it's coming, but it's been warm in central Ohio. One of the events we like to talk about 3 times a year, we get to talk about it, is the Lancaster Community Chorus. They have another event coming up, another Fine Sing coming up this coming Sunday, and it's a bit different. And I thought, who would we ask other than the director of the Lancaster Community Chorus, Clarence McCoy. Clarence, welcome.
Thank you.
And I can sort of see, if you can gaze, if you know how Clarence typically dresses. This is perhaps a bit out of the... This is not it. No matter what you think, this is not it. It has a little twang to it.
It does indeed.
And perhaps that is the thing. It's an afternoon at the Opry, not Opera.
Not Opera.
Not Groucho and those guys. This is an afternoon at the Opry. So I would say that it's a bit of 2 kinds of music, country and Western.
Indeed, both kinds.
Okay.
As they say in the Blues Brothers movie, both kinds, country and Western. Yes, we'll have both of those there. An afternoon at the Opry is going to be a great concert. Music that will be completely at home on the Grand Ole Opry stage is the plan. That was the
Ryman would love to have us. If they call, we could go.
We would be ready to go with this program.
No
doubt about it. Some classic country and some more contemporary stuff and everything in between. And it's going to be a big variety and a fun concert, I think, from beginning to end.
It's, I guess in thinking your previous concert to this a couple of months ago, if there's anything that describes what 180 degrees is, this would do it.
Yes.
That was more Lancaster chorale-ish. Very heavy, super music, but far more classical.
Yes.
And now we turn the clock a little bit, and it's an afternoon at the Opry.
Yeah, I'm excited
first
that
event about this, like it's for you. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, we've done some other pop things in the past, but this is our first country foray into the country music. So we'll see how this goes. I'm excited that the group has the range to be able to do the different types of music like we do. We have a theme for every concert that we do. We do 3 concerts per season. This is our 3rd one, last one of this season. And usually this one tends to be lighter in nature than the other 2. Summer's happening, and people are in vacation mode, and we try to lighten things up a bit, and that's the case this time. But a complete change of pace from our previous Foray Requiem concert. Yes.
As you say, we're coming into summer. A lot of things going on. Fair number of people in the group for this concert.
Yeah, we're singing. I think there's 65 in the group this time, so up a little bit from where we were from the Foray and from the fall. So beginning to creep back up, numbers are, and that's a good thing. We're excited about that as we continue to recover from our time off during the pandemic. That's good. And ticket sales so far for this concert are going very well. So we're excited about that as well.
And speaking of tickets, how can that be done?
There's information on our website, LancasterCommunityChorus.com. You can get them from me. You can get them from any singer in the group, or they'll be available at the door that day as well. The concert's at 3 o'clock this Sunday, June 18th, and the doors open at 2:30. Ticket sellers will be there probably 15 minutes prior to that. Should be in plenty of space for everybody, but we're expecting a pretty big crowd for this.
And be there would be the Crossroads Center out on West Fair Avenue, where almost exclusive, I would say almost until the last concert when it wasn't there, but it's back now at Crossroads. Very comfortable setting out there, lots of seats, very nice place to have this. So when you say classical and classical country and some different kinds, it's kind of spans a lot of different movements within country and western.
It sure does. Yeah, there's a big variety of songs that were recorded by the Carter family and Hank Williams, the original. Although the version of his song that we're doing is not anything like Hank did it. And that is the challenge, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But all the way up through Garth Brooks and Reba McEntire and some more contemporary country artists as well being sung there, both by the group and a few of our group singers. are doing solos during this as well, and they're
Nice.
bringing a few things out to add some variety to what we're doing. We'll add some instrumentalists, drums and bass and piano and probably fiddle on a song or two.
Got to have some fiddle.
Kind of have to. Yes, exactly.
You had fiddle for the foray, although we called it
violins
back
at that
then,
time. Yes, exactly. But that's that. So we're adding that into the mix to make things a little more authentic. But we also we know what we are. We are a community chorus, so we are not a bunch of country music artists. So we're doing country music, but we're doing it our version of it.
Your way.
So if people are coming expecting to hear Garth Brooks, you're probably not going to hear actually Garth. Although we have a solo on, we're doing a Garth Brooks song, "Friends in Low Places," and our soloist does a pretty decent job of Garth Brooks sound-alike at the beginning of that. So yes.
So it's this Sunday out at Crossroads Ministry Center out on West 2095. I'm not sure.
2095 West Fair.
2095 West Fair.
Yeah.
Just past the Lancaster camp, or right before you get to the Lancaster campgrounds on Fair Avenue. If you're coming from Fair going out of town, on the right there, a nice big reader board right there in front. You can see it. It's at 3 o'clock, and tickets available at the door, or they, again, as Clarence indicated, there's other ways to get that. We'll hit that again before we go. So what are some of the songs that you might like to highlight as big moments?
Big moments. Well, I mentioned "Friends in Low Places," the Garth Brooks song. We're actually doing another Garth Brooks song later in the concert. We're doing his "The River," which is a fun song, and it got a nice message to it. We're doing "I Hope You Dance." The ladies are doing a Reba McEntire tune, "Why Haven't I Heard From You?" The guys are doing a Johnny Cash medley called "I Walk the Lines."
Man in Black.
Indeed, the Man in Black. Got two or three of his songs in there. We're opening and closing the song with the old Carter Family tune, "Turn Your Radio On," which appropriate when we're talking about the Grand Ole Opry, as a radio production. That kind of makes sense to put that in there. I mentioned the Hank Williams tune we're doing "Your Cheatin' Heart," but it's a light jazz version of "Your Cheatin' Heart." So
if you can envision that,
if you can envision that, it's actually a fun arrangement, but nothing like the way Hank did it. So if you're expecting that, you'll be disappointed on that particular one. If you come just wanting a fun piece of music, it's there. There's a medley of tunes we're doing called "Forever Country," which includes the John Denver tune, "Take Me Home Country Roads," and "I Will Always Love You," Dolly Parton tune, and Willie Nelson, "On the Road Again." If you can imagine those songs put together into a mashup, that is in fact what happens in that arrangement. There's just lots of great songs along the way. The soloists and one duet is doing an Everly Brothers tune. Someone else is doing an Alison Krauss song. There's just a variety of things that are happening in there. It's all going to be fun music from beginning to end, and I think people will really enjoy it.
Well, one of the things, and I've heard this from a little bird has told me this, that while it's light, it's airy, it's more fun than obviously a couple of months ago, but it's just a fun concert in general, and perhaps your outfit here would lead us to that.
Yes.
That you're allowing the group to be a little more free in their
attire. Absolutely. Instead of our concert black for this, we did this for our 60s concert last year. We allowed the singers to come up with their own attire for the day to match the 1960s
That was a pretty
theme.
fun event.
That was fun, and people did a great job coming up with good costuming for that. So we decided to follow that same idea this year and just told them to wear something that might be appropriate on the Grand Ole Opry stage, or perhaps the hee-haw set. So we'll see what comes from that, and I won't see it before you do. We'll all see it the day of the concert, so that'll be fun, I think.
So if somebody puts a tag up in front of them that says BR549, that's appropriate?
That is appropriate, I believe, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. If you know anybody planning that, that would be...
You never know.
You never know.
60-plus people, you never know what happens.
Exactly, yes.
So were you the person that came up with this Opry theme? Because I know you have a board and some people work together on this.
Yes.
But my golly, an Opry, when that is so far-fetched from anything you've done.
Yeah, but I am the one who came up with that idea. The board approves it as they do all of our concert themes. I come up with proposed concerts for the year, usually a couple of years in advance, send them to them, and they decide whether or not they think it'll work. And I will say that we had a couple of board members that weren't really sure about this one. But considering the popularity of when we bring in a country artist for the Lancaster Festival, and knowing what the musical tastes are around here to me, it seemed like a good thing for us to give it a try.
It certainly seems to be the bend that the and you were I was going to mention that too. And maybe I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but I saw a special on PBS in someplace just a couple of weeks ago, and I'd seen it before. It was on Johnny Cash about his life, how much not contemporary country music, but
classic.
Church
kind
of music.
Gospel, sure.
What gospel meant to him in his life. He's struggled in and out of those things his whole life.
Yeah.
But one of the things on there when they were talking about that, at his funeral, who sang at his funeral? He had 3 people sing at his funeral, and I'm sure this is at the request of the family.
Yeah.
Sheryl Crow.
Okay.
Of all people, and timely for us.
Sure, right. Coming to the festival this year.
And I can remember Deb Connell talking about when she launched that a while back. She was so darn excited.
Yeah.
Sheryl Crow, truly a big name.
Sure, absolutely. So that definitely speaks to the musical taste of our area, for sure.
So I think that you'll get a good crowd.
We will, I think so. And you mentioned the gospel bent that country music has. Turn Your Radio On is, in fact, a gospel song. We're also doing Wings of a Dove, the Furlan Husky #1 song. Was a great.
Remember it like it was yesterday.
It was a huge hit for him. Very, very much a gospel tune and a good arrangement of that. And again, shows off the group's range. And that's one that we can kind of sing a little more our style. It fits that, and the group sounds really good on it, I think. So lots of good things in the concert for us.
And I hear that this is such a special concert, truly a special concert. You've asked a guest pianist to come in and join the group just for this show.
Indeed. We do have a different pianist for this concert than we've had for a while. She's played on a couple of our concerts in the past, but never the whole concert like this. And
this is all hers.
This is all hers, and that's my favorite pianist in the entire world, Sandy McCoy, who is
director.
There.
Yeah, good. Get some points there, buddy.
Director of vocal music at Lancaster High School, and my wife.
Sure. She's an amazing pianist.
She is. She's a wonderful pianist,
wow.
and our usual pianists weren't available for this concert, and so she agreed to jump in actually halfway through. Brenda Graff, who has accompanied us a large portion of our history, was not available for the concert, so she did the first 4 weeks of rehearsal, and then Sandy, who was just wrapping up school at that time, jumped in to fill out the rest of the concert and play the concert with us. So and she does a great job, as she always does.
And just to update that quickly, Brenda Graff, who was since the beginning at least of the chorus, she's doing well.
She is doing well. She took a leave of absence for health reasons for a year, and we had some other people filling in, and then Brenda was back with us for rehearsal at the beginning of this, and she's doing very well health-wise, and we're excited for her. She's actually away on a vacation, which is why she's not going to be able to be here for the concert. So
good, she deserves that.
She does.
So it's this Sunday out at Lancaster Crossroads, 3 o'clock. An afternoon at the Opry, yeehaw,
Indeed.
With the Lancaster Community Chorus. As you can see the attire here a bit more in that mode right there, and we'll see more of that on Sunday, I'm sure.
That's the plan, yes.
It might be kind of scary. I mean,
well,
it might
knows?
Be worth the price of admission just to see what this group might come up with.
Pictures.
They're a scary group sometimes, I would agree with that. So Clarence McCoy, who is the director of that, will have fun out there Sunday. I know you will, and it's a lighter feeling. Was it a year ago that you did the 60s thing? Was that this concert a year ago?
That was this concert a year ago, yes.
And so if you remember how much fun that the crowd enjoyed that very much, and actually some of the crowd dressed up like
that.
They
did,
absolutely. For that, so maybe we'll see some of that.
Who knows,
so good luck. Tickets available from any member of the chorus.
Any member of the chorus. LancasterCommunityChorus.com has information about where to get the tickets, and they'll be available at the door.
And available at the door. And the cost was?
$10.
$10 for an afternoon at the Opera. What a deal.
Opry.
I'm sorry.
Be careful.
I was a Marx Brothers slip right
indeed.
there. Nice correct. Nice catch.
Yes,
All right, an afternoon at the Opry this Sunday out at Lancaster Crossroads. Thank you for joining us, Clarence. We'll be back on Fairfield Today in just a moment.
You walked down the aisle and promised happily ever after. Sometimes happily ever after means ending a relationship. We know the conversations are not easy. Deciding what's best for you, your children, and your next steps takes work and communication. At Dagger Law, we know there are no monsters in a divorce, only people trying to find their way. Local, trusted, experienced. Dagger Law.
The staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairhope what it is.
quit smoking and thought, that's that. But here's the thing about lung cancer. By the time you see the symptoms, it could be too late. But now, there's a new scan that can detect lung cancer early when it's more curable. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
My name is Allie. I just became 14 years sober at the end of last month. Through the support of my family and friends, I got the courage to ask for help. And through treatment services and the recovery community, I was able to start my recovery journey. Now I get to work as a peer supporter and an addiction treatment navigator where I get to help the next sick and suffering. If you don't have family and friends that can support you right now, you can find those supports through treatment providers, the recovery community, and peer supporters like me. Every life matters, and your recovery is worth it.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. Paul Jasson with you, and it's a lovely time of the year, a nice warm heading towards summertime. We're always excited about that. So many great events each weekend, each during the week. There's no lack of everything's back full time since we took that little pause for COVID a couple years ago. Everything's back and going great guns now. One of the events that was going well before that and is back now is this Longest Day event, which we're going to talk about that among other things. And it's a pleasure to have Kim Shook with us. Kim, how are you?
Just fine.
Good.
Great to
You
be with
are
you.
now out at Crestview.
Yes.
Is it Crestview Nursing Home? Would that be?
Crestview Rehab and Skilled Nursing Center.
Right, out on West Fair Avenue. We know, is that Bexnob?
Yes.
Right there on the corner of Bexnob. Great place out there, wonderful place, and really some new things happening out there, right?
Yes, lots of things. We're growing, and we've opened a memory care unit.
Boy, that's really, unfortunately, kind of the way nursing homes and things like that are having to go now.
Yes.
They're having to build whole wings on for
Yes.
that, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But we're thankful that there are, places like that. So when will that be up and running?
They need a skilled or a secure unit.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what they need to keep them safe.
Now, is that up and running now?
Yes, we opened our first unit in March, and it is full.
Wow.
So we're opening a second unit here real soon in a couple of weeks.
Well, how great is that, but how unfortunate it is that there's that need for that.
Yes.
So we hope as things move on, we get that awful thing. So it's busy time out there
Busy
at Crestview
time,
right now.
yes.
Keep things moving out at West Fair. You got things under control?
Yes, and just people coming for rehab, and then there's long-term. So just lots of good things.
And being part of that generation that's into rehab these days, there's lots of people that need to come for a short-term stay and out there every day for rehab. And
hips, knees, shoulders, all of those things. You can pre-plan when you go to schedule your surgery, and then call us to line up your rehab.
What's the phone number?
You would just call 740-243-8285.
You're good. That was a great, because I did not coach her on that. She came up with that like that. Very good.
That will get you in touch with someone that can help.
Everybody else can help.
Yes.
So it's a nursing home. It's skilled rehab going on out there, and now the memory care unit is up and running. So really the kind of the gamut of senior services out there. Huh?
It's we are family owned for 65 years, 5 generation. Kathy Kunash and her 2 children and her sister Cindy are involved, and Kathy's husband Tom. So it's just a great team, and
it's
well
wonderful
staffed,
business. Wonderful business out there. I can verify that's a nice place. And something else that you've kind of taken on this year, we mentioned it a little bit in the open here, is this longest day event, which is kind of ties in with your memory care unit there. This Alzheimer's longest day event, and we've talked about that, I don't know, 8 or 10 years ago with Jody Amspaugh, who recently won an award at the Chamber event, and as the head of Home Helpers, as she had it for many years, I would have her on each year to talk about it, wearing purple. That's highly appropriate about that. But that's coming up here when? In another week, June 21st?
Yes, Wednesday, June 21st from 11 a.m. to 2 in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. And you can come out to Crestview.
It'll be out at your location.
Yes, it's at Crestview in our back parking lot.
Right.
We have a walking path out there for the residents to go out and get exercise, and so we have that extra space and plenty of parking. And so it'll just be a great day to do some fundraising for the Alzheimer's Association. The representative from Alzheimer's will be there, along with lots of things going on that day. So.
And this is a day to just really to raise awareness about Alzheimer's. This has, again, been going on around for a while. Took a pause during COVID, right? And now it's back again, and Kim has taken it on. And 11 to 2 in another week, 21st of June, and it looks like got a lot of stuff going on. Got food trucks, got some music. Get a nice llama display out there. That's going to be very cool.
We're going to paint the corner purple, and we're partnering with several people, healthcare professionals in the community. Reflections, that's around the corner from us.
Sure.
That's assisted living.
Yeah.
And then Jody from Home Helpers is helping to sponsor it. And Rosie's House and some, of course, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care. They're having The Wolf with Mark Bohack will be doing a live broadcast from there.
Boy, this is going to be big time.
Kona Ice will be there, so come get a slush and
well,
cool off.
when you get Kim Shook involved in this, you get the full deal, because she gets it going. You get everything pumped up. This is a top-notch thing. It's out there at Crestview Rehab. It's the longest day event. And I know from your perspective, Alzheimer is a big part of your world now.
Yes, it is. Just working with the patients that come there and are having those symptoms and side effects of that disease, and the loss of memory and brain function with the dementia and Alzheimer's. And of course, we are offering a education series in addition to this as well, one Tuesday a month. So June 13th at 5:30 p.m. we'll be having another one, but that comes monthly. So we have that booked out for 6 months, and lots of good topics to educate caregivers and their families and people in the community on Alzheimer's and dementia.
Well, it's amazing to me how rapid Alzheimer has grown.
Yes.
Things that have happened, because I don't know when it's been, maybe 20 years ago, I didn't even know what that was. And I was having a conversation with a woman. She was with her husband. He might have been in a wheelchair. And we were just talking about something, and she kind of snapped at me a little bit, and I didn't think there was anything I'd done. And later she came back and apologized. Well, he had what we know now as Alzheimer's. I'd never even heard of that, didn't know what it was. But she was having to deal with this every day and probably had no help on this 20 years ago. There were no places like yours. Their nursing homes weren't taking people like that. They didn't know. I'm sure they had to stay home. And you hear stories now about some of the things that these people are capable of, and they don't know that.
And they just...
And it's that caregiver role has become such a big thing. So for a place like yours and the others to take that on, that sure is a respite for some people like that. I'm sure you see some rough situations.
Yeah. And then the longest day is like on the summer solstice, which is our longest day.
It truly is the longest day.
But it can be a longest day, or a long day in the life of a patient and their caregiver. So we want to just bring awareness to that and let them know that we're here for support for them for our memory care unit, and as well as our long-term unit and our rehab and those things.
Well, it's 11 to 2, and it's out at the Crestview Rehab, which is out on at Bexnob 957. Bexnob is your address out there. Everybody knows where it is. If you're leaving town, it's right there on the left. You take up about a city block right there. It's a huge place, and now this new center you've got, it's really taken off.
Yes, it's in the Sheridan wing side.
Okay.
So that gives you some perspective, because we have the Eckerd wing and then we have Sheridan wing.
Winfield Eckerd, that was the original Winfield, and I think Helen Sheridan were the people that started that. Wonderful business out there. New thing now, again, rehab has really always been very big out there, but now this Alzheimer's thing, this is only starting to grow, I guess. Huh?
Yes, we have the largest therapy gym and aquatic center in Fairfield County.
Really?
And we have a swimming pool for aquatic therapy, and 10,000 square feet gym for rehab and physical, occupational, and speech therapies. So lots of good things take place there, and inpatient and outpatient.
Well, it's you really do good work out there, and this is just an extension of that. And again, it is on the longest day. I think we that's very cool how that happens. Wear purple if you happen to go out that day.
We're selling T-shirts, so they're like $5.
They'll be out there at that event.
So we'll have T-shirts for sale out there, and just a Chinese auction. So we'll be raising money for the Alzheimer's through having an auction.
And again, all the money goes to
the Alzheimer's
to the Alzheimer's thing. We think about Reflections, Home Helpers, The Wolf, Mark Bohack, and the radio station Fairhope Hospice, of course. Crestview Rehab out there, really behind this. So this will be the first time out there. It's going to be interesting to see how all this is, all it takes place.
Yeah, and Wagner Insurance will have, Rick will bring his llamas.
And Rick is the Wagner guy. I mean, the llama guy.
Yeah,
everybody knows him. He's a great guy.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like an interesting time out there. Food trucks, Kona Ice, music, got a photo booth out there.
Yeah, photo booth. So we'll have all the Alzheimer props and purple and things like
Chinese auction, as we mentioned, pet
llamas. Rowdy
and
dogs, food truck.
Everything, everything. So this, again, is Wednesday, June 21st. This a week away now, on June 21st. 11 to 2 at your parking lot behind Crestview.
Behind Crestview.
So you just kind of go around there and
you can park
get to
out
the back.
front.
Plenty of parking out
Plenty
there.
of parking.
Plenty of parking out there. It's a big place.
Yes.
The longest day event, on the longest day, Kim Shook, and good luck with this. We hope for a day much like today. That would be perfect. No rain. You're in charge.
And our phone number is 740-653-9461.
Okay, that's the number to call if you have any questions about any of this or about any of the things that you typically do
or
out there.
CrestviewRehab.com.
Very good. CrestviewRehab.com.
Yes.
Good. Kim Shook with us, talking about the longest day event coming up in a week, June 21st, out at Crestview. Welcome, and good luck with this.
Thank you.
Hope we can talk about this for many years to come.
Thanks for having us on.
Sure, thank you. Thanks for joining us on Fairfield Today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.